Hey guys, we are here at Localis in Midtown Sacramento. I've been covering the Sacramento food scene for about 8 years now, but this is the first time I have had a dish named after me, and what a dish it is. Chris.
Yes.
Tell me, what is this menu all about? What are we doing here at Localis?
It all was spawned from just a desire to have great communication and conversation with people, and I just decided like each course could be a person. So 10 interesting people, volume 1. We're gonna do more volumes as kind of a maybe marking the change of a time at Localis. So it's very exciting. But yeah, I sat down with 10 interesting people and created a menu based on that.
A 10-course menu based on conversations with 10 interesting people.
Yeah.
Can I ask why I was chosen to be one of those 10?
Yeah. You are interesting in the way that you approach food and Sacramento as a whole. On most of all the dishes, it was like kind of an amalgamation of all of the interview. Yours was into that. Mom's cooking, Hungarian, Jewish family. And when I started researching, you really honed in on soups multiple times as something that you really loved. So I thought, let's do a soup, but then I kept looking and I found this very famous Hungarian author with the last name Egel. And he has a soup named after him, so I kind of referenced that. Took the pork out of it because you guys were a Jewish household, and just kind of came up with this fun thing. And as I mentioned, there was a Hungarian gentleman and brought a tear to his eye. He's just like, this so reminds me of homeland, you know? And
that is really special.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when I think about the dishes that I grew up on, the dishes I had as a kid, it was my grandmother's Hungarian cooking. It was my mom making a big pot of soup in the winter, putting half of it in the freezer and pulling half out later, you know, for family dinner. And so I'm so excited to see what you've come up with as like a fine dining version of that. I think that's gonna be so cool. And so walk us through, you know, what goes into the dish. How do you make Benjy's soup, you know, start to finish?
So we start with the idea of the Egel stew, which is beans, ham hock, or you know, smoked pork, and then root vegetables, of course, with paprika. So I decided instead of the pork, we were going to use bacon onions. So we cure onions just like bacon, smoke them long periods of time. It gives that flavor without the pork, obviously. So the beans have been turned into a puree at the bottom, preserved lemon in there to keep it nice and bright, but a little smoky and savory. On top are fire roasted vegetables, very simple, but just whatever's freshest at the market. 5 of them are going to be switching out to whatever we like best. Some dill and some carrot fronds, not only for garnish, but I love dill with Hungarian food. I think it just works. And then we made this 24-hour vegetable broth. Traditionally, you would never want to cook vegetables that long because it turns them acrid and not good, but that's them. The liquid they leave behind we found is like liquid gold. It has such a rich umami characteristic. We flavor that with a little Hungarian paprika, and then we throw an ember in it. So searing hot ember, we throw it in there and let it cool off in there because it gives it this nice like roasted but not smoky flavor. It's been a serious hit on the dish, even though people are like, I didn't expect to like the vegetable soup, you know, but then it's like one of their favorites. When people taste this dish, it's overwhelmingly tasty for what it looks like. When you see it, it's a beautiful dish, but it's simple, you know? It's like a broth on top of some vegetables. But the intensity of flavors that happen in the dish is really what people are like most excited about.
Wow. It's got so much flavor packed in this little like couple ounce serving of broth. I mean, there's a little heat, there's a lot of umami. This is like just a classic winter soup that I would have grown up, but in a Michelin-starred format here at Localis. I'm getting that preserved lemon too, you know, on the second bite too. And I love the dill too. I mean, Chris was talking earlier about how that's a really nice flavor with Hungarian food, but I think it also just kind of brightens this vegetable winter soup. You know, it adds a little bit of lightness in there along with the preserved lemon. Hearty and delicious.